Hi, and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today, we'll be taking a look at the second Spinnaker so far that has impressed me so much it hasn't left my wrist since it arrived. It's the Spinnaker SP5057 named Dumas, and today I'll try to find out if it can dethrone the Tesei Bronze, my favorite Spinnaker so far. Now, in my last Spinnaker review, I talked about two stealthy models, and I might have called them boring. So when I got the press release from Spinnaker for this model, I felt like they responded to the boring comment by making one of the most interesting models so far. I know my comment had nothing to do with it, as these were already in production when my video aired, but I find the coincidence funny, and that's not the only one, as you will see later in the review. So when I first saw the renders for this watch, I got very excited, as it seemed like a toned-down Omega Ploprof, having an octagonal massive case and the Ploprof hands, but not bulging out on the sides like the Ploprof, making it more wearable in everyday life and giving it enough originality to stop it from being a pure homage. The whole case has a brushed finish with the polished bevels and crown. Another very interesting detail about the crown is this cabochon looking thing that is white and has a silver Spinnaker logo applied inside. It looks really cool, but the practical guy in me sees it as just another thing that can fall off or get damaged. My only fear regarding this watch was the size. Luckily, I can say that the size is not an issue, even though the watch is massive with a width of 43mm, not including the crown, and the thickness of almost 15. It is wearable on a small wrist thanks to a modest lug-to-lug of only 48.2. But beware that even though it is short, you will know it's there, as 125 grams of weight on a rubber strap make it pretty top heavy. So if you like to wear your watches loose, this thing will move around. Since I mentioned the strap, this is the first Spinnaker to be offered on rubber instead of leather. Again, making me feel like they'll listen to my constant nagging about dive watches on leather straps. It is a 22mm strap that tapers down to 20mm at the buckle. It is thick, but supple and comfortable, and I love the fact that it's not too long. If you think this rubber strap fits the watch, but can't stop thinking about how it would look on a mesh bracelet, you're not alone. That is the first thing that I thought when I saw it. Luckily, someone at Spinnaker thought that would be a good idea as well, so there will be an optional metal and mesh bracelet that I think not only would look great as it would complete the Ploprof styling, but it might balance out the heavy watch body better than this. Now, the best thing about it is that Spinnaker will be offering this bracelet upgrade for free for all those who sign up to the watch between January 11th and 25th. When the watch is scheduled for the official release. I will leave the link for the sign up down in the description, as I believe it's a worthy saving if you plan on getting the watch anyways. When it comes to the rest of the specs, this watch is a mid-tier Spinnaker, so it comes with a Seiko NH35 movement that beats at 21,600 bph, and comes with both hacking and hand winding. It also comes with a flat sapphire crystal and a mineral crystal insert for the bezel. The bezel itself has 120 clicks that are pretty tight and precise. It's not the easiest bezel to grip though, and I don't think it would work great with the gloves on. The lume on both the dial and bezel is super luminova, and it glows bright and long thanks to the generous application. I especially love the daylight color of the lume, as it's not pure white nor Seiko green. It looks more like ivory. It is very similar to the lume color of the Omega Seamaster 300 I reviewed last year. It looks classy and goes well with the blue dial. Although the bezel insert is glossy, the dial is not. It has this green finish that is matched with the applied Spinnaker logo that is also not finished in the usual polished way, but rather has a frosted texture. The hands again seem like an answer to my complaint about the spins where the hour and minute hand are way too similar. So on this, Spinnaker went to the other extreme. These Omega Ploprof hands are so different from one another that it would take a blind man to confuse one for the other. Unlike the Rolex hands that I hate seeing used on other brands, these I find so cool that it would be a shame to see them only on the Omega. I especially love the orange minute hand and these splashes of orange on the dial to go with it. Overall, I love the look of the dial. If there is anything I would change, I guess I would like to see how it would look with the 24-hour scale removed, as I think it would make the dial cleaner. But honestly, that's just me nitpicking. With the help from Chris from Horology House channel that I really advise you to check out, I recently picked up some new filming equipment that allows me to see more macro details. And this is actually the first watch where I used that equipment to get really up close. Now these close-up shots only confirmed what I noticed with almost all Spinnaker watches so far, and that is that the fit and finish is very good to excellent. There are no blemishes or blotches, everything looks clean, and to be honest, I have seen watches costing 10 times more with more flaws than this. It is especially impressive considering the price. The watch itself will cost $350 after release. But as usual, there are always coupons and sales on these. So by using my coupon WatchGeek20, you get 20% off, bringing the watch down to $280, and you help the channel. But there are even 30% discount codes out there. So it's only a matter of time when you will be able to pick this thing for as low as $245. Although the mentioned free bracelet upgrade might be worth the early purchase. I don't know, you have to decide that for yourself. When it comes to my original question, whether this will dethrone the Tesei Bronze as the best Spinnaker so far, on paper it doesn't stand a chance. The movement in the Tesei is better, so is the bezel that has a ceramic insert where this one has a mineral, and that wave pattern looks more expensive to make than this. Not to mention Tesei has the Swiss-made label it can brag about. But watch collecting is hardly ever a pure specs battle. The thing that's more important is how the watch makes us feel. And this one brings a smile to my face whenever I glance at it. So Tesei Bronze is still the best watch Spinnaker has ever made. But this is my favorite Spinnaker so far. So for me, yes, it has dethroned the Bronze brother. Well, this completes this week's review, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe by pressing this button right here, and until the next video, bye.